All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to pull back the curtain on something that influences pretty much every decision we make: money. And we're going to uncover how it might be pulling your strings in ways you probably haven't even thought about.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're staring at that new gadget or that expensive dinner receipt, and you get this little nagging feeling like, that wasn't 100% me. So what was really going on there?
And that's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? That when it comes to your own money, you might not be the one calling the shots. So if it's not you, who is?
This right here, this just nails it. Money isn't some neutral tool that we just use. Nope. It's way more active than that. It's like a puppeteer, and our own wants and desires, those are the very strings it's pulling to make us dance.
Okay, so if we're going to understand this puppeteer, we first have to totally change how we think about money itself. And we're going to start with a really powerful idea from the book Your Money or Your Life. And this concept, it is a total game changer. See, money isn't just paper, it's not just digits and an app. It is a direct stand-in for your life energy. It is literally the hours of your one finite life that you traded to get it. When you really let that sink in, you realize every single purchase is a trade for a piece of your actual life. And here's where it gets super real. That $200 item isn't just $200. If you make $20 an hour, that's 10 hours of your life energy. 10 hours you had to work. Now you have to ask yourself a totally different question. Was that thing really worth 10 hours of my time? Thinking that way just changes the entire equation.
Now, let's look inside our own heads for a second, because it turns out the puppeteer has some help from the inside. Our brains come with some built-in glitches that make us really easy targets for financial manipulation.
This is a perfect example of something called mental accounting. We treat money differently based on where it came from. A paycheck feels like serious money, but a bonus or a tax refund, suddenly that becomes fun money or free money. It makes absolutely no logical sense. A dollar's a dollar, but it's this little mental trick we use to give ourselves permission to make some pretty questionable choices.
And oh man, our brains are just full of these traps. There's loss aversion, where the pain of losing $100 feels way, way worse than the happiness of gaining $100. It's why we panic. Then you have present bias. Our brains are hardwired for right now, so that instant thrill of a new gadget feels so much more real than some far-off goal like retirement. And don't forget anchoring. The first price you see for something sticks in your head and becomes the reference point, making a slightly lower but still really expensive price feel like a bargain.
So, okay, our own brains are kind of working against us, but it gets worse. The world around us is perfectly engineered to exploit those exact biases. It's an architecture of overspending designed to get us to spend without thinking.
Let's start with something called the latte factor. It's the idea that these small, tiny purchases add up. That $5 coffee feels like nothing in the moment, right? But do it every day, and boom, that's over $1,800 a year. Gone.
And these little leaks are absolutely everywhere. I mean, think about it. Subscriptions you forgot you even had, just bleeding money from your account. Little convenience fees that seem small but add up. The incredible danger of one-click buying, which is just designed for impulse. And on top of all that, you've got social pressure to spend money just to keep up with everyone else. It's a perfect storm. This right here is one of the biggest secrets about wealth that most people just completely miss. We are trained to think that wealth is stuff you can see. The big house, the flashy car. But real wealth, true wealth, is invisible. It's the money you didn't spend. It's the investments that are quietly growing for you in the background, working while you sleep. Okay, I know that all might sound a little bleak, but here's the good news, the really good news. You can absolutely cut those strings. You can take back control. So let's get into the toolkit. Let's talk about how you actually do it. It starts with this. This is probably the simplest but most powerful financial lesson there is. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That fancy car with insurance and gas and repairs, that's a liability. A rental property that pays you every month, that's an asset. The whole game is just to get more assets and fewer liabilities. And you know what's crazy? The research from the Millionaire Next Door proves this. They went out and studied real millionaires, and they found that most of them don't look anything like the millionaires you see on TV. They live pretty modestly, they avoid status symbols, they're just laser focused on building that invisible wealth.
And if you want the ultimate example of this, look no further than Warren Buffett. We're talking about one of the wealthiest people on the entire planet. And he still lives in the same house he bought for about 30 grand way back in 1958. Why? Because he gets the secret. Money's job isn't to show people you have it, its job is to make you more of it.
So, what is the most powerful, practical thing you can do to fight back against all this? It's simple. You automate. You build a system to beat your own brain. You take your emotions and your worst impulses out of the equation completely. Set it up so that a piece of your paycheck goes straight to savings or investments the day you get paid. You can't spend money you never even see.
And why is automation so powerful? Because it unleashes the absolute magic of compounding. Just look at this chart. The growth is slow at first, but then it just explodes. In 5 years, you're at about $73,000. But in the next 5 years, it grows by more than $100,000. And that jump from year 10 to year 15 is just insane. That's your money making money all by itself while you're just living your life.
So in the end, it all comes down to this one question. Money is going to be a huge force in your life. There's just no way around it. The only real question is what role it's going to play. Is it going to be the puppeteer that pulls your strings? Or are you going to grab it and make it a powerful tool to build a life you actually want? That choice is yours.